Well, joining me now is Republican Congresswoman of Florida and member of the Homeland Security Committee. Cammack is with us. Also with us, retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral and former White House Chief Medical Advisor, Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson. Congresswoman, Dr. Jackson, great to see you.
Thank you, Grant.
Hey, Grant, good to see you.
All right, Congresswoman, first off, your reaction to Merrick Garland's performance today during this hearing.
Oh, what a doozy. I tell you, Grant, you know, we now have reached a point in time in our nation's history where moms and dads who give a damn about their kids' education are being labeled domestic terrorists. Meanwhile, we have actual terrorists that are crossing the border unchecked, actually being welcomed and given a bunch of free stuff in our country. So I find it very interesting in listening to A.G. Garland's testimony today. He talked about how he took action to label moms and dads across the country who are concerned and actually showing up to their school board meetings to voice their concerns. No threats of violence, but he took this action and put the FBI on the case because he received a single letter from the National School Board Association because they, quote unquote, represent thousands of school boards. Well, by that same logic, I, as a representative who represents 760,000 people in North Central Florida, I think that I could send a letter to him and he should take action to, I don't know, declare our southern border a crisis, you know, maybe take some action against Hunter Biden and all of his nefarious dealings. I mean, that's the same logic, right?
Congresswoman, here's the thing. Your letter will be filled with truth that he really needs to act on those things. His letter was filled with lies, which brings me to the next question. Congressman Jackson, do you think there's a conflict of interest here? His son-in-law is selling millions of dollars worth of critical race theory. He sends this letter threatening parents to stand down. How dare they? What's at play here?
Oh, absolutely. There's a conflict of interest here, Grant. I'll tell you, let me just say to start with, there's one bright spot in all of this, Grant, and that's that we can now look back and we can thank God that this irresponsible, dangerous man is not a Supreme Court justice. That's the one bright spot in all of this, right? But, you know, here he is as Attorney General, and, you know, they've weaponized our Department of Justice. They've weaponized our Department of Labor with the, you know, with the OSHA rules coming after folks that won't get vaccinated. They weaponized our Department of Treasury with the IRS, and now they're using the Department of Justice, which he oversees, to come after people that are pushing back to school boards that are pushing, trying to push critical race theory on us. And now, you know, we can see the connection here with his son-in-law, who's profiting something like $27 million or something that he's got from selling critical race theory to these school boards around the country. These parents are becoming a problem for his son-in-law. So what does he do? They write a letter, and then he acts on behalf of them to shut this down. This is an absolute conflict of interest. And if this were happening anywhere other than the Biden administration, it would just be, the outrage would be off the charts with the mainstream media, but it's not, and that's a shame. And we're losing this country right before our eyes, Grant.
I want to get two quick answers from the both of you on this. Cammack, this Attorney General claims he doesn't know anything about what happened in Loudoun County. Loudoun County is ground zero for critical race theory. It's not far from Washington, D.C. What do you make of that?
Well, I think, again, you look at his testimony today, all of it was pretty much BS, and it was just a long list of talking points that had been pre-approved by the administration. Clearly, he has heard about this case. This has been major national news for weeks now. This is something that if you are taking adverse action, like putting the FBI on top of moms and dads who are just showing up to the school board meetings, and you haven't heard about the situation where there has been a rape in a school setting that has set these parents off, you are absolutely lying. And he testified before Congress. And again, why he was not pressed in his preparation to be ready to answer that question, he surely knew that that was coming. That is beyond me. I think it's because this administration has essentially gotten away with murder, and they think that they are above the law. That's going to be changing very soon when we take the House back and Republicans are in charge.
Let's hope so. It needs to happen. Ronnie Jackson, real quick, you heard the president say violent right-wing extremists are the biggest threat. We just had a hypersonic missile travel around the globe launched by China. You're a rear admiral in the United States Navy. Real quick, if you can, what do you make of Joe Biden's comments there?
Well, I think Joe Biden's just, once again, he's as out of touch as the Attorney General is right now. Maybe they live in the basement at the White House together with their heads buried in the sand, but they're both completely clueless right now. He's been saying this for a long time, with this being the biggest threat to our country. It's absolutely ridiculous. Our country is, we are losing our country, and he's not doing anything about it. They are completely focused on the wrong issues right now.
It is a shame. Let me tell you something to the both of you. Two of my absolute favorites. Congresswoman Kat Cammack, thank you. Congressman Ronnie Jackson, thank you. It's always great having the both of you on the program.